When you hear this story, you will not believe the dreams and hopes of this 17-year-old girl, some of whose evidence is built into a wall. Welcome to the Silent Killer channel and the Secret Killer program. Subscribe our channel, thanks. We are going to tell the story of 𝗗𝗲𝘁 Fields. She was born in mid-1984. Her mother was named Lorraine Fields. The story does not mention 𝗗𝗲𝘁's father and only follows the two of them. This girl had a normal life and grew up in a middle-class life. She studied at 𝗗𝗲𝘁 High School. When this girl went missing, it was the night of the school dance-in, which was located in Georgia, a small town in the southern United States. She was full of hope and excitement as she prepared for her high school graduation in 2001. It was a Friday afternoon in April 2001, a warm, sunny day for proms. 𝗗𝗲𝘁 Fields, 17, had just graduated from high school. Her heart was filled with joy and excitement. It was the night of her high school prom. 𝗗𝗲𝘁 had made her dress. A sky blue one, short-sleeved, carefully hand-sewn one. She told her teacher, "I don't want to be late tonight." But she never returned home. As the sun set, her mother, Lorraine Fields, was pacing the living room, a roast in the oven, her camera ready, and she was preparing pictures that had never been taken before. 𝗗𝗲𝘁 still hadn't arrived and it was 8:30 p.m. in Georgia. Mother Lorraine, worried that she had waited a long time and still hadn't arrived, started knocking on neighbors' doors. It was 10:15 p.m., and they answered, "I haven't seen your daughter." She went to the police station to file a missing person report. But the response was cold and unkind. "She's a 17-year-old girl. Sometimes girls need a place to sleep." The officer replied that night. There was no further warning about taking her to hospitals or other police stations. 𝗗𝗲𝘁's case was secretly labeled "Missing Girl Only." Mother Lorraine had lost real justice at that time and no one to stand by her. 20 years of silence. The Fields family lived in silence and sorrow. Lorraine left 𝗗𝗲𝘁's room as it was before. The town had changed, businesses had closed, schools had changed, and motels had sprung up in Glenrose. Motel is an English abbreviation for motor hotel. Motel, a small hotel or place for travelers to sleep, usually on the side of a road or in an open space. On the edge of town. The motel, which had been abandoned, had fallen into disrepair. And there, in the summer of 2021, 𝗗𝗲𝘁's story was rediscovered in a very sad way. The clothes on the wall. The Glenrose Motel was scheduled to be demolished to make way for a development project led by Representative 𝗗𝗲𝘁, a former schoolteacher. As the building was being demolished, civil service worker 𝗗𝗲𝘁 was surprised to find a strange object on the wall of room 6, a sky blue dress, torn and dusty, with a hand-sewn tag that read 𝗗𝗲𝘁 Fields. The police arrived within hours. News spread quickly. Lorraine Fields got the call she had been waiting for so long. When she saw her daughter's dress on TV in police custody, she collapsed to the ground. "It's her dress," she said through tears. "It's my daughter's dress." Finding the dress reopened a case that had been forgotten for 2 decades. Old wounds, new questions. I returned to 𝗗𝗲𝘁 as a reporter, but I was also a former school friend of 𝗗𝗲𝘁's. There was talk and controversy in the city. Why was her case ignored? Why wasn't an Amber Alert issued? An officer from the new unit investigating the past cases asked him the same questions. It hadn't been officially released to the public at that time, the senior officer replied. She was a 17-year-old girl. But she was black. You know how they treated her back in the day. In the small bag of clothes that 𝗗𝗲𝘁 was found in, police found a flyer. Models wanted. Atlanta Model Show. One day only. April 28, 2001. Glenrose Motel. The flyer had not been previously released. When they searched police records from 2001, But at that time, a call was received from a motel guest who reported hearing strange noises in room 6, the same room where the clothes were found. The police wrote at the time, "Room 6 is unoccupied." The caller appears to have been drunk or intoxicated. That information was not followed up. It's a story of a painful pattern that has come to life over the years. Former FBI analyst Gerald Knox said, "We've found a frightening pattern. Between 1998 and 2004, at least 17 black girls, ages 14 to 19, disappeared in the southern United States, all identified as voluntary disappearances. And 2 of the last cases have been solved." 𝗗𝗲𝘁 case follows a string of unsolved cases over the years. Maintenance records at the 𝗗𝗲𝘁𝗶𝗹𝘀 Motel show that room 6 was closed again in 2004. 3 years after 𝗗𝗲𝘁 went missing. Police now believe someone returned to hide evidence or to move the body. A search of the area where the clothes were found turned up no blood or DNA, but there were scratches made by a tool on the inside wall. The suspects. Investigators' attention turned to 2 men. Curtis Dane, the cleaner who found the clothes, and Reggie Clay, the congressman who wanted the motel demolished. Curtis, when questioned, was found to have worked at motels and bus stops in several parts of the South. When police tried to talk to him, he disappeared. 𝗗𝗲𝘁's student ID was found in his apartment, along with a small box containing small items, a bracelet, a hair clip, a coin, and a ring with the name of another missing girl. Another small book was found with 17 motel names and initials, which matched the dates of the girls' disappearances. Meanwhile, Clay denied any involvement in 𝗗𝗲𝘁's case, but his high school employment record included a complaint, inappropriate language toward 𝗗𝗲𝘁. He had also been a substitute teacher in other cities where girls had gone missing. No charges were filed, but there were undercover reports and missed opportunities. No justice, only the truth. Despite the media and public attention, there was no progress. The district attorney refused to take the case to trial because no body had been found. Curtis Dane is still missing, his car found in the woods. Clay resigned, citing health problems. Lorraine's mother's health deteriorated as her daughter was forever missing. But 𝗗𝗲𝘁 is no longer forgotten. Her story has spread through the media and crime podcasts. Finally, she became someone truly memorable. A good girl is someone who never had the chance to celebrate that night at the high school prom. In the end, this case became cold because the prosecutor said that no case will be opened until the body is found and real evidence such as DNA is found. But 𝗗𝗲𝘁 was no longer invisible. Her story went viral, shared by news outlets and true crime podcasts nationwide. For a brief moment, she was not just a name in a file, she was a daughter, a seamstress, a girl who never got to dance at her prom. In the end, there was no justice, no closure, just the truth that for too long, the disappearances of black girls like 𝗗𝗲𝘁 Fields were ignored, dismissed, or forgotten. Justice doesn't disappear, I wrote in my final article. It gets ignored. Sometimes, it wears a blue dress no one saw until it was already too late. As the 𝗗𝗲𝘁 Motel was finally demolished, Lorraine Fields watched from across the street, holding 𝗗𝗲𝘁's prom shoes in her lap. The lot will become a pharmacy, the town says, a place for healing. But for Lorraine, and for all the families who wait for answers, the wound remains. 𝗗𝗲𝘁 Fields never made it to prom, but now the world knows her name. She mattered. She always did. The 2 men who were suspected, one escaped and the other resigned from his position in the government. They were suspected but there was no evidence. Viewers, in the past, there were cases of black people that were not solved or investigated because in the past, black people did not have many rights in Western countries, especially the USA. Mother Lorraine received a lot of relief, although the old wound was healed, but she does not have full evidence. Please note that this case can be opened if the body is found where it was hidden, which will facilitate the examination of the body to find the DNA of the real killer. This is a case that has not yet been solved. Viewers, this is a summary of the program The Hidden Killer. If you have not reached us yet, please subscribe to the channel 𝗗𝗲𝘁𝗶𝗹𝘀 and tell us what you think. Please leave a comment. Thank you.